Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It is like 60 degrees out here, man. I'm freezing to death, but bright sunshine, Florida, short sleeve shirts. So I got a question from a friend Tom on Church Happy Hour. And if you haven't read this, I encourage you, visit Church Happy Hour here on Facebook. It's our FL Compass Church group. He had talked about a situation. Don't let me steal his thunder, but the gist of it kind of boils down to, why do bad things happen when people do right or get second chances? And it's a question that there seems to be a lesson to be learned. What's the lesson we can glean from this? And I said that I would think about this and chew it over and give my thoughts. So here they are. What is the answer to these situations that seem really unexplainable or don't have any answer to why they happened, why they occurred, or why God let them occur? And I'll give you an answer that I give a lot when people ask me tough questions. I don't know. I've gotten really comfortable with I don't know. And I want to tell you why. There are a lot of reasons, but two obvious ones. One comes out of the book of Job. Job is a guy that had everything, and then all of a sudden he loses it all. He loses all his riches, he loses his property, he loses his family, and then he loses his health. He loses it all. And the whole book is him and his friends sitting around talking, trying to figure this out. What's the meaning? What's the purpose? What's the lesson? And at the end, what God does is God yells at him, basically. Who darkens my counsel? Who are you to question me? Do you do this? Do you make the sun rise? Do you tell the goats when they're ready to give birth? Answer me if you know. 5 chapters he goes on. 5 chapters of God yelling at Job. And at the end, Job says, I spoke once, I will speak no more. And one of the lessons we learn from the story of Job is that he had this image of God, this understanding and impression of God, and God had to show him he is much, much, much more than who Job thought he was. The one thing Job knew was that God was good. And Job became very comfortable with not knowing the questions he had for God, the why. There's another story out of John chapter 6. I think most of y'all heard the feeding of the 5,000. Great Bible story. Jesus takes the little boy's lunch, 5 loaves, 2 fishes, and he breaks it up and feeds 5,000 men. I mean, they collect 12 baskets of food at the end after they got full. These people see this and realize it, and they're like, holy cow, this is a prophet. This guy's like a magician. This guy's powerful. I'm going to follow him, because I want to know how he does this stuff, and I want to be in on it. So Jesus and disciples leave at night. They go across the sea. 5,000, they wake up. They're like, hey, Jesus ain't here. They go look for him, and they find him. Jesus gives this discourse on the bread of life. Oh, I want to read this because I don't want to put words in Jesus' mouth. God in the flesh. And on the discourse of the bread and life, it says you got to, I am the bread of life. This is my flesh, the bread. This is my blood. And unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you cannot have any part with me or God. And these people are like, wait a minute. Eat your flesh and drink your blood? They're like, whoa, time out. This is, it says this is a hard saying, who can abide by it? And it's like, you're nuts. I ain't being cannibal. I ain't doing cannibalism. No. And they leave him. And all these people leave him. And at the end, in John chapter 6, it's kind of cool. It says, then Jesus turned to the 12, his 12 disciples, the ones he picked who knew he was God in the flesh. And he asked them, will you also go away? And Peter answered for the disciples, and he says, Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life, and we believe and are sure that thou art that Christ, the Son of the living God. He can't explain the eating the flesh and drinking his blood and cannibalism and all this stuff, but he knew he was God, and they trusted him. They were okay living in the unknown. They were okay with I don't know. And that's why it's taken me a long time, but I'm really okay with I don't know. So this story that Tom wrote, my short answer, and what I'm going to write is I don't know. Check it out, guys. Church Happy Hour on FL Compass Church on Facebook. Let me know if I'm off base. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know your thoughts. And help Tom out. Help him come to some... to find out and help him figure out an answer to this. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Remember, keep up with us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at FL Compass Church. Check out all these updates online, www.flcompasschurch.org. And be sure to check back Sunday when I talk about a really tough vocab word. Paranoesis. I know. All right, have a great week, and I hope to see you on Church Happy Hour. Be blessed, guys.